Title: The teacher called and said, "I found a drawing in your son's bag. It showed a man, his mom, his dad, and another man. But the dad was in a grave. Mr. Anderson, is everything okay?" That night, I went through my wife's phone and found a secret chat. Start. The teacher's voice still echoes in my head. "Mr. Anderson, I found a drawing in your son's bag. It showed a man, his mom, his dad, and another man. But the dad was in a grave. Is everything okay?" My heart didn't beat for a moment. I forced a calm answer, but inside, a storm had already begun. That night, I went through my wife's phone. I shouldn't have known the passcode, but I did. And what I saw shattered everything I thought was real. We had a picture-perfect life, or so I believed. A warm house, a marriage that survived 12 years, a son who laughed like sunlight. I was the steady one, the provider, the man who came home every night believing in loyalty, in trust. She was my anchor, or I thought she was, the woman I defended when others doubted. I gave her my all, and she buried it quietly behind a smile. Her phone was a graveyard of secrets, late-night texts with a man I didn't know, coded words, photos, plans for weekends when she told me she was visiting her sister. And then, a message that cut deeper than steel. "He'll never know. Our boy will adjust. Soon, he'll call you Dad instead of him." That's when my son's drawing made sense. Children see what adults think they hide. My wife was building a future without me, and she expected me to stand in the grave she dug. I didn't rage, I didn't scream, I went silent. And in silence, I became dangerous. Revenge isn't loud, it's meticulous. First, I documented everything, every message, every picture, every timestamp. I copied them to a secure drive. Then I met with a lawyer, quietly, under the guise of a work meeting. He advised me on custody, finances, escape routes. I started withdrawing small amounts from our joint accounts. Nothing noticeable, but piece by piece, I built a war chest. I installed a tracking app on her phone, not for jealousy, for precision. I knew where she went, when she went, and who she went with. And I studied her, like a scientist dissects an experiment. Her lies, her rhythms, her rehearsed excuses. Every betrayal became another brick in the wall I was building between us. The night before everything ended, she kissed me goodnight like nothing was wrong. Her lips touched mine, but they carried no weight. At dawn, I left for work, except I didn't. I waited. I watched from a distance as he arrived, the man, younger, smug, stepping into my house like it was already his. I took photos, videos, evidence that no lawyer could ignore. Then I made my move. That evening, I confronted her, but not with rage. I placed her phone on the table, pressed play on the recordings, let the silence strangle her. Her face drained of color. She tried to speak. I raised my hand. Calm, deadly calm. "Don't insult me with lies. I know everything." She wept, she begged, she swore it was a mistake, but the messages painted a different truth. I didn't shout, I didn't hit, I didn't even curse. I simply told her what was going to happen. I was taking our son, I was leaving her the house, the debts, the whispers of neighbors, and I would make sure her lover carried the burden of her choice. The divorce papers hit her like a hammer. Full custody request, backed with evidence of neglect and infidelity. Her lover disappeared within weeks. Cowards don't stay when the storm comes. She was left alone, reputation in ashes, her friends whispering behind closed doors. The courts sided with me. My son came with me. She was granted visits, supervised, limited. The day I left the house for good, I looked back only once. She stood at the doorway, broken, clutching a life she destroyed with her own hands. I didn't feel pity, only clarity. Now, when I tuck my son into bed, he sleeps without fear. No strange drawings, no silent cries, just peace. He'll grow up knowing the truth, not the version she tried to script. And me? I'm no longer the man who trusted blindly. I'm the man who learned that betrayal is a teacher, a cruel one, but precise. My wife thought she buried me in that grave, but I was never the one who died. She did. The moment she chose deception over love. So when people ask if I regret it, leaving, disappearing, erasing her from our lives, I tell them this. Regret belongs to those who betrayed, not to those who survived. And with that, I walk away. No anger, no remorse, just silence. The kind that only comes after vengeance has been served.